Hello everybody, again Davide Morri, Morri Match Analysis. Today we are going to speak about the UK National Championship Women Mixed and Open just finished a couple of days ago. I've also to mention that I just come back from my summer experience, my vacation mixed with a Frisbee experience. I've been honored to serve as assistant coach Fury. The US Open happened 1 month ago. And this gives me some point of view to think about it, to give you more feedback. Also watching the Frisbee from another point of view, different from the European one. And this was really good for me to learn from the best of the world. In the women's final, we can find Bristol against Iceni from London. Before speaking about the final, I have to say that you can see in the last two international events, World Under 24 in Bologna, where GB women reached the third place, and in the last Master European Championship, where the GB Master won the gold medal, that there is a big improvement from the women in the UK, and in particular you can see that watching the games, women or mix, because the level of the people is coming up. You can see the mix between experience and young player going up together. And this final is an example of what I just told you. In the first video you can see immediately a start of Iceni with a split stack, immediately with a quick flow, good downfield cut from the cutters, and an easy flow bring immediately a 1-0 for Iceni. In the second video, you can see Iceni decided to use the strategy of the bullet switch coming from Japan, basically poaching the line of the handlers. And this strategy put in trouble Bristol because they denied the line of pass, the easy line of pass, and make the rebounds like a ball. And this stressed the handler, and there are other easy mistakes from Bristol, bring immediately some breaks to the Iceni side. And also in the next video you can see that Iceni decided to apply a junk zone defense with 3 people in the first line, poaching in the line of pass, similar to a warm defense, and this create more trouble to the handling players from Bristol, and the game look compromised. In the third video, you can see there is a reaction from Bristol, also because players like Molly Wedge and other players play war games in the past, bring some strength to the Bristol team. But anyway, after this easy goal bring the score to 5-1 for Iceni, there is a choice from both teams, but in particular from Iceni, where they decide to force in defense, forcing backhand, connected to the fact that the weather is not so good with some rain and some wind. At the end, it's really difficult for the Bristol player with this big mark and really good defender of the cutter to score easy point. Again, in this video you can see a reaction from Bristol. Just as I said before, the strongest player tried to pick up the game in their hand and try to hack to give more deeper options and solutions, but there are some mistakes in the execution of the throw and some mistake from the receivers. This creates some chaos at the end. It's not really good from the Bristol side, and Iceni again take one break and go 6-1, and again the game starts to be really difficult for Bristol to take back a good result. At the end of the first half, after multiple mistakes from both sides, the result of the halftime is 8-1 for Iceni. In the second half, basically, Bristol continues fighting and creating turnovers and points, but at the end, the game will finish 15-6 for Iceni, and this is really bad because, connected to the fact that these are two really good teams, the momentum of the game have been always in favor of Iceni from London. Just to conclude this part of the video, I have to say that Bristol demonstrate to have athletic and a good structure, but the game plan of Iceni have been better, connected to the fact that they decided to apply a back and forth, zone junk defense solutions, and this create a big problem to the Bristol girls. And when you take a gap of 4, 5, 6 points, it's really difficult to come back in the game. Also because the pressure on the Iceni offense start to be lower, and with experienced players like Iceni and Bristol have, it's difficult to take back a game, can finish with a universe point. At the end, also if Molly Wedge and the other teammates over try to give the best, basically Bristol paid the price of easy mistake in front of the end zone, and easy hack didn't catch by the receiver. In the mixed division we can find a classic game between two of the best teams in Europe and two of the best teams in England. Reading Ultimate against Deep Space. We have seen also Deep Space playing some time with Open and women. For example, I remember probably in Tom's tourney they decided to play split of men and women to improve in the early season, and at the end they demonstrate that. But at the same time, Reading Ultimate that is developed really well in his hometown, have a mix of young player and old player with a lot of experience, able to manage the game. In this video you can find a big star from Deep Space and a multitasking change of position of the player, women and men, and there is an easy flow from Deep Space starts so strongly and take an easy point for the 1-0 for them. In this video you can see a reaction from Reading Ultimate, put a strong mark to create a bubble around the side stack of Deep Space, and the game can go back with some points from Reading, take back the strong start of the Deep Space guys and girls. In the third video you can see how Deep Space is really good in the first part of the game to manage the deep space and the swing space. You can see in particular a lot of throw, anticipating the movement of the receiver and open the space in advance instead to post too much with the disc, waiting for the rotation of the opponent teams. Again, you can see another break from Deep Space, connected to the fact that Reading is not really good finding a quick flow, and also at the same time Deep Space are better managing the wind, and this is why they score against the wind another break, and then there is 3-1 for Deep Space. In this video you can see a really good flow from the back, then since the downfield cut are covered by the defender, there is a reaction from the handler and the flow starts from the back, bringing an easy point, thankful to the handling work at the beginning of the receiving after the pull. A really good defense with a deep cover from this space, really good to orbitate around the static stack of Reading Ultimate, bring the score to 5-2. But now, since I told you that the Reading Ultimate is full of experienced players, you can see a reaction from them. There's a change of approach to the game, and they start to mix the match D with the zone defense, junk defense, using the mixed strategies, mixing the men and the girls in the right positions. And then there is a coming back from Reading from -3, go back to 6-5 for Deep Space and go back in the game. Now there is an important moment in the game. In the middle of the game, the weather changed, and like I said in another video in the past, when the weather getting worse or when there are some conditions, the more experienced player, also if they are old or if they don't run too much, take an advantages because they are more useful to read the situation. There is a lot of wind or a lot of rain, then the bad weather is basically always an advantages for the most experienced player compared to the young team like to run a lot. And this is what happened, that basically Reading Ultimate come back in the game, changing the momentum of the game, and from 6-5 for Deep Space go back to 6-all, and at the end also connecting the fact that there is a collision of player with an injury, stop the game 15 minutes, the game change, and Reading complete the mission of the first half, leading 8-7. This means that basically Reading have been under by 1 or 2 points all the game, or all the first half, sorry, but at the end they come back and they use the experience to win the first half. Now you can see, like I told you, that the momentum of the game is changed, and then Reading Ultimate take the lead and continues using a strong mark on the disc and a really good orbitation against the deep space stack. Similar to the beginning, but in the opposite side, instead to react, deep space start to slow down the flow, using more the possessed instead to hit vertically the game, and this creates a problem because it's easy for the guys of Reading Ultimate, guys and girls, to orbitate around this position and having multiply breaks. At the end, Reading after the half is leading 9-7. But like I told you, when there is a final, in particular in the finals, sometimes people have a strong reaction, they don't want to lose, and they pull up something from the pocket that normally they are not used to do. And there is a big call from deep space, take back the psychological leadership in their side, and there is immediately another break, bring the game back to 9-all. But the more experienced player from Reading Ultimate have immediately a reaction, and there is another break from their side. They take back the game to 10-9, using again a really good orbitation of the defense and a quick give and go to take back the point and go back leading the game. Also, if there are multiply strange throw, because there are some outside in throw, some magic line throw, and there is a 12 score in between the two teams. And before that, we have seen 3 break from Reading Ultimate, bring back the game to 12-all. Finally, we arrived to the Universe Point. Universe Point, we can see that after 1 hour 51 minutes of game, include the stoppage connected to the injury, and after 1,000 mistakes connected to the weather conditions, there is the classic thing I can say in Italian, heroes or losers. And the choice of deep space is to risk and play the best mismatch they has, because they have this big guys. He's a really good receiver, and they decide to arrive in the middle of the pitch and use the mismatch in the end zone, and the winning is from their side. And at the end the game will finish 13-12 for deep space. What you can see from this video analysis of the deep space against Reading Ultimate games, that at the end is the momentum of the game, in particular in the mixed division. This is more important, because if you are well prepared to read the game and also have a good reaction to the change of weather, change of condition, or change of momentum connected to a call, connected to a layout block, or to an easy mistake, at the end this is count maybe more compared to having good thrower or super good receiver. And at the end, but this is always in a final or in important games, this is when you can see if you are strong or not, because you can see when you are in a tie game, 12-12 game to 13, if you are able to risk and throw, or if you are smart and you decide to play the possession and have a strong cut and easy throw to complete the point. This is a choice. If you want to have an opinion from me, maybe in the last moment of my coach career, maybe I think it's better to hack and close the game and decide to find the heroes, but you can also decide to have a mental approach more wise. Okay, now we're going to analyze the classic final, Clapham against Chevron. In the last year, sometimes also Chevy had the chance to win the UK Championship, but Clapham came back from the US Open experience, where they finished 8th in Denver, and this bring more experience also in reading a final. Obviously they are all expert players, But I think this time Chevy have been in trouble finding a team stopped to play an important tournament 2 or 3 weeks ago. The game started immediately with I don't want to say strange choice, but because I would have been doing the same, but with a choice from Clapham to start in offense against the wind, and after a couple of turnovers there is immediately a 1-0 score from the offensive line of Clapham against the wind. And you will see how this will affect the game, because starting, I explained this in other videos, choosing the worst field side is a strategy, either if you are in defense or offense, because if you start with the worst side of the pitch connected to the wind condition, after, if you reach first the half time or when you will arrive to the universe point, probably you will be in the downwind side, and this creates more probability to win a game. You can see immediately a strong mark from Clapham. You can see immediately also that the pressure of the markers on the thrower give to Clapham an easy mistake from Chevy with an uncatchable throw, and this immediately take the game to 2-0. Now you can see a reaction. The classic style of Chevy is to have a good possession of the disc. And now you can see how the hander are using the cutters to give a good yardage throws and go back taking back the disc, or give a good throw deeper in the space and go back take a dish to continue the flow in multiply combination of continuation with the handers and the cutters. And this is the style of Chevy when they are in the mood to win, and this is what they are able to do really easy, because they are really well connected since they play together since long time. Now you can see a reaction from Chevy. They decide to pull a lot of pressure on the receiver, and after an easy mistake from Clapham, there is a super quick break with the counter-attack movement from the D-line, bring back the game in from 2-0 to 2-all. And then the game is coming back in a good position for both teams. But like I told you, sometimes the important match are resolved by easy mistake, and now you can see an easy throw from one of the Chevy guys, and there is immediately another break from Clapham side, bring the game to 4-2 for Clapham. And now the classic of Clapham, they start to mix the normal pull with the blade pull. Obviously, Conor McCain is really good pulling, he's lefty, and he knows really well how to manage the wind. The pitch is organized with one side upwind, one side downwind, and this quick and up and tall pull arrives super fast in the end of Chevy. And obviously after a super incredible possess from Chevy, they are going to score anyway. But again, you can see how Clapham using the mixing of the pull style to put pressure on the opponent team. It's true that the game now is 7-5, but you can see how Chevy have to fatigue to score against the wind, demonstrating a good techniques and a good flow, but losing energy that they will going to pay in the end of the game. At the end, the half time will finish 8-5 for Clapham. Some break made by the D-line of Clapham, some breaks take back from the Chevy lines, but at the end 8-5 is already a middle way compromise game, because +3 is not so bad for the O-line of Clapham, are not used to turnover too much in normal condition. As I told you at the beginning, the choice to start in the one downwind side for Clapham take back the advantages in the second half, because immediately Chevy have to facing a strong D, match D, but against the wind. And since Clapham scored the first point, now Chevy is in trouble, and there is immediately a break from Clapham side, bring the game to 9-5. But like I told you, there are sometimes some reaction of some players don't want to lose or want to put all the effort in the game, and there is immediately another chance of break from Chevy after a bad throw from Briggs. Take back an easy quick flow and give an easy point to Chevy, score super quick. And then now the score go back to 9-7 for Clapham. But again, as I told in all these long videos speaking about different finals, sometimes there are some giveaway from the thrower, and when there are gifts, if you are a team organized, you grab the gift and you go to win the game. And then again, come back another break, and the game between Clapham and Chevy go 12-7 for Clapham. And again, I have to say the game is compromised. And 12-7 is difficult with these experienced players to bring back the game. You can believe in a miracle, you can make some layout block and put all your focus, but a difference of 5 points when you have to play 80 minutes or game to 15 bring you to pay the price of your mistake. Now you can see the last point of the game. At the end the game is going to finish 14-11 for Clapham. Then they didn't reach 15. Then this means that there have been a good fight, but as I told you, Chevy is paying the price of the easy mistake made in the first part of the game and in the first part of the second half. Also, I have to say that Clapham have been better spread out the fatigue to all the team and to all the D-lines compared to Chevy, pull out of pressure and responsibility to the same thrower. This is also connected to the fact that it's not so easy to play in this wind condition and in this psychological condition, because this is a final, and like I told you, Clapham just come back from US Open, and they are maybe more ready compared to Chevy, probably has the last international tournament a couple months ago. Now we are entering in the tips from Davide Morri match analysis of something you have to take in consideration when you just finish to look this video. First, it's really important a synergy, a chemistry between the handlers and the cutters. Normally some teams are organized that the cutters are really good play the 1v1, but if the downfield cut 1v1 don't work, it's better to use the dominator handler moves instead to wait and risk the field distance between handlers and cutter became too deep. And then it's better to work sometime together, sometime only the cutter, sometime only the handler, to have a more dynamic flow as a team. The second point is the importance of the reading of the game. It's really important to pretend from your teammates or from your player, if you're a coach, to open the space in your own 1v1. This can be connected to the handler position, or this must be connected to the cutter position. It's not good only to pause when you're an handler. It's not good to only go deep or only come under. It's really important to have an awareness of the game when they need you, when they don't need you, when you have to clear the space of someone else. If you don't do that, you are a middle good player. If you work on that at the home or in your practice, in your pots, when you are not too much player, you will find the way to win easily in the important game. The third point I suggest to work on is the quality of the throw. When you fix the flow between cutter and handler, when you fix the 1v1, it's really important the choice of the throw and how the throw is made. Example is that in the mixed final reading against deep space, you can see a lot of flat, very good throw, the chase of the receiver. These are good throw. When you find a strong defense, sometimes you have to do high release or slow flow throw, and these are good to have a good flow, but are not the same of a throw flat in your chase. Give you already the preparation to do the next throw, and then when you practice you have to take a look to these important things. And in the last part of the video I'm going to give you some tips that you can work at home during your practice or during your scrimmage. My suggestion is to play games, mini ultimate, 4 against 4, 5 against 5, 3 against 3, we speak about that in the past, but instead to play time or big point, you can decide that your team can win if reach +3, or your team lose if reach -2. Then every mistake, every turnover count -1, every score count +1. But instead to do continuous play, you can decide to say, okay, the black team is in offense, they score 1-0 for the black, This to the opponent team. The white team is offense in the other direction. If they score, 1-all. If they turn over, -1. And this is really good if you play stalling 5. At the same time, you can also decide in the other games, mini ultimate games, to play stalling 10. Because if you play stalling 10, the focus is more on the defense side. Because since you know that with 2 mistakes, -2, or with a couple of mistakes, you are going to win the game, because if the opponent team reach -2, you win. You are more pushed to give your best in defense, and this is what make the difference. Second drill you can do is having the same approach and play a game where you can win +3, or you can lose if you reach -3. But a full game, not a small side game, a normal game, 100 meter per 37 meter. And this is good because you apply the same idea of don't turn over, but at the same time keep an high speed of defense. Also, at the same time, you can put the focus as a coach, as a captain, as a teammate, to your player to defend well together in multiplied session of 10 seconds. Because if everyone have a good mark on the disc, and if everyone doing a lot of fatigue to the receiver, the final result is that the turnover will arrive. And this is what is good. And also playing 7 against 7 is more fun than playing 4 against 4, 3 against 3. But maybe some people are doing some pods because you cannot always practice with 14 people at the practice. Sometimes you have less people, sometimes you have more. But this is a good approach. Winning +3, losing -3. And the game can be 10 minutes long, 20 to 30 minutes long. But important that you remember that if you reach -3, it's over. Suicide, run, and you do another game. The last suggestion I give you to do a good scrimmage in a practice is play a full field game, but give the pool to the coach or give the pool to a player or your teammate outside from the pitch. Simulate, like I said in the match analysis of Klapan against Chevy, simulate a super blade high pull or a super angle pull, pretending that the handlers have to catch instead, or they can also wait, touch the ground and stop and play immediately quick, and give them 20 seconds to reach the brick point, and after you can play normal. If you don't reach the brick point in 20 seconds after you have the possession of the disc, it's turnover for the other team. This is good because it's pushing the defensive team to run, to focus only to run on the pool. Obviously, if the coach or the teammate pull from outside can do, from the middle of the pitch, can do an amazing pull because they have to throw shorter. And also, from the offensive side, give you the feeling to play under pressure, like if you receive a strong pull, like we have seen in the Klapan game against Chevy. And then work on the mindset of the angler to take yardage immediately instead to wait the player come. Okay, I think for today is enough. Thank you very much, and thank you to Alti TV for this program, Morri Match Analysis, and hope to see you on the pitch, hope to see you at the UCF final, and have a good last part of the summer. Ciao!